presidential candidate must be the party leader of the party. We cannot therefore talk about somebody else being a presidential candidate, yet the party leader who's supposed to be the candidate is there.
Fellow Kenyans, allow me to start this conversation by asking this question. That how comes one of the political parties that have been in Kenya have been very much strong for decades, right now is like a joker and nobody wants to listen to, nobody even cares, nobody wants to know what is going on, nobody even wants to get involved with such a party. This is the party that any moment, anywhere it was being mentioned, people would be like, where that is a strong party. Even the people that were being produced from this party were very intelligent people. People who could have a debate, who wakienda parliament, people would reason. But how comes that this party right now, nobody wants to get involved in it? Nobody even cares. Nobody even wants to listen to what is going on in the party. Everybody is moving. Everybody is walking away. And right now, if you say very well that, you know, I'm a member of this party, people will be like, what are you saying? I'm talking about ODM party. Because what is going in ODM, fellow Kenyans, I want us to start from the beginning, from where the rain started beating the people that are in ODM and ODM leadership, up to right now where we are. And that is why I'm requesting you to go with me from the beginning up to the end. And then at the end of the video, please, I would like you to also tell me what you think, because this is just my opinion. I would also love to know your opinion. What do you think? What do you really think is going on, or what do you really think is going to happen in future as far as ODM party and the election members is concerned? Because according to me, what I know and what I think is that ODM is dead gone. And right now, anybody who involves himself in ODM is somebody who's preparing to fail. You got it? Let's start by listening to Ruth Odinga.
The presidential candidate must be the party leader of the party. We cannot therefore talk about somebody else being a presidential candidate, yet the party leader who's supposed to be the candidate is there. And I'm not afraid to say things, because the truth must be said and it will not rot. The truth will remain. Party leader in the constitution. Let us sit down, have an NDC, change the constitution, and say that anybody else can become a party leader, a presidential candidate, if it is not for the party leader. But before they change that, the only person who can become the party presidential candidate is the party leader of that party.
Wakati huu sisi ODM hatutakuwa na candidate wetu ni President William Ruto. But all the other positions are negotiable. Particularly number 2. Don't you think I deserve to be number 2? Because that is what our concern. Can I not be number 2? Mimi nimetosha. Asanteni sana.
Now, that is OBURU Odinga's sister, the late Raila Amolo Odinga's sister too. Ruth Odinga is saying that you can't tell us that we want to have a presidential candidate who is not a member of the party. And of course, according to us, what we know and what we believe is that any person who wants to be a presidential candidate must be a member of the party. That is one. Number 2, and that the only person that is allowed, the person that is allowed that has got that chance to become a presidential candidate in a party is always party leader. In ODM, we have OBURU Odinga. Tunataka power. We have OBURU Odinga, who is the party leader of ODM. OBURU Odinga right now is 81, 82 years, if I'm not wrong. And therefore, he cannot be a president. Hata kama anataka kuwa president, nobody can elect him. Tuseme tu kweli, nobody can dare elect OBURU Odinga. Because why? 2 things. Number 1, OBURU is old. Number two, OBURU Odinga is confused. OBURU Odinga himself doesn't really know what he wants. Yeye mwenyewe hajielewi, hajui anataka nini. That is why it can be very, very difficult. Nobody can attempt to elect OBURU Odinga. Nobody. Unaona hata yeye mwenyewe anasema mara tunataka kuwa president, mara tutaki kuwa president, mara sijui anataka kuwa deputy president, mara sijui ODS imefanya nini. So OBURU Odinga is literally a confused person. That aside, let's start from 15th November, that is 2025, when ODM was having their 20th anniversary in Mombasa. That is after Raila Odinga's death. Let's listen to what William Ruto said during that anniversary celebration.
The last meeting I had with Baba, and Anyang' Nyong'o was there, this professor. Anyang' Nyong'o was there, Hino was there, the last formal meeting. We had sat down to craft, me and Baba, to craft how to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. And we asked Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, in fact, Baba is the one who had called Professor Hino from the United States to come to Kenya. And we sat down and we said, Kenya has gone through hoops for far too long. You know, we cannot continue like this. All of you seated here, you know Baba's ideas. This man, Simbarati, you came with a team from Kisii. Baba spoke to that meeting. I was there, you were there. And he explained to people, why is South Korea ahead of us? Yes. And he said, we must do certain things. And we have agreed we cannot continue in this third world frame. And I called Anyang' Nyong'o after we finished the ceremonies of Baba. And Anyang' Nyong'o is working on something. I met him the other day. He told me he's putting it together because we agreed that we need to generate 10,000 megawatts of energy. And it is the reason why Opiyo Wandayi has very clear instructions on what to do with nuclear energy. We agreed that we must move the railway all the way. We agreed that we must have a new airport. We agreed that we must do another 10,000 kilometers of tarmac. So there are things we have agreed that must move Kenya from being a third world country to a first world country. And in honor of Baba and what he believed in, he even disagreed with many people on matters to do with the airport and many things, because he could see the opportunity we are losing by not being ambitious with our plan and with our program. So as we celebrate ODM at 20, I must tell you, the family of ODM, beyond everything else, we must work together towards moving this great country called Kenya, because that is why we came together then. And it was right then as it is right today. We may have come together then as individuals. We may be coming together now as political parties, but the mission is the same: to change this country.
You get it? So that is where the problem started from. You see, what William Ruto tried to do, and actually he has succeeded in doing, is making sure that ODM people relies or completely depend on him. That there is nothing that you can do in ODM minus him. is the one who must tell you that is why he's the one that is giving them money. Remember there's a time that OBURU Odinga was saying that Ruto ametupea milioni ngapi. So Ruto sponsors them. And you know, people who are gluttonous, people who really don't know how to get things, people who depend on others as easily controlled. There are two ways in which a man can control you. You see, a person that feeds you, that person has power over you. And I don't think if you can do anything to run or to escape that person's mistreatment. Any person who gives you food, another person is a person who gives you money, or a person who employs you. A person who employs you knows very well that you depend on that monthly salary, that if he tells you that you are supposed to report at work at 7:30, that 7:30 you're supposed to be in office. Failure to do that, he tells you that I'm going to deduct 5% of your salary. So that person controls your coming in and you're going out. And if he tells you that today you're going to extend, you will extend. Two people, mtu mwenye anakupea pesa na mtu mwenye anakulisha. Same thing is happening right now. William Ruto is giving ODM money. And that is why unaona hata pesa ya political parties has been withheld. Because William Ruto wants ODM people, OBURU Odinga, Junet Mohammed, Gladys Wanga, to fully rely or depend on him. Yani wakose namna kabisa yenye hata nini ikifanyika lazima watamuangalia. So you see, that is how William Ruto weakened ODM. So after that, things have been happening. Things have been going on. Remember when he was telling Sifuna that Sifuna sisi ndio waanzilishi wa ODM, all those things have been going on. All these things happened. You get it? And then, the other day, I heard Winnie Odinga was being interviewed. And Winnie Odinga was asked about the late Raila Amolo Odinga, that suppose he was alive, could he have run for the presidency? Winnie Odinga said yes. Raila could have run for the presidency.
For rights cannot, one doesn't make the other.
If he was alive, would he have contested in 2027?
I believe so.
You believe so?
I believe it's possible.
Despite the handshake with Ruto?
Yes, I believe so.
They would have run again.
It's possible. It is possible.
But he went for the position of the African Union chairman.
Yes, he did.
So why did he do that, if he was going to run for president?
I don't think at the time he was running, he was going to run for president. I'm picking your question in the context of today. If you look at today and perhaps the dissatisfaction of the people or the slow pace of development or achieving, he may possibly have joined the race if he thought he could remedy that best.
Is Winnie saying Ruto has not done well?
I think he could do more.
Will Rooney be supporting Ruto in 2027?
That's a very hot button question to ask in a position such as this. I have not decided.
You've not decided?
Yes.
Will the Orange Democratic Party present a presidential candidate in 2027?
I don't believe they've decided yet. We have not had our National Delegates Convention, which is supposed to happen later this year. And that's where decisions will be made.
What do you want?
For the party?
Yeah.
I think the party needs to let the people decide and pick and listen to what the people, its supporters, want. I think there's a lot of briefcase carrying and a lot of shuffling about as people are searching for self-survival. And therefore, the will of the people might not be the priority for some operatives.
What are the members saying at this point?
The members want opportunity of choice. You know?
You don't want to endorse Ruto?
It's the Orange Democratic Movement. I can't speak for all the members. The members must speak for themselves. And that's where the National Convention comes in.
And of course, we know Raila Odinga, ni mtu mwenye hakuwa anachoka. Raila never got tired. Raila ni mtu mwenye actually, Raila ni mtu mwenye, I learned one thing with the late Raila Odinga, that ni mtu mwenye hakuwa anakubali kushindwa. Yes, umenishinda lakini I'll try. Like, he kept on trying. That is the spirit. Keep on trying. Don't give up. He never gave up. Because the moment you give up, that is where now people will be like, so Raila never gave up. So Winnie Odinga is saying that suppose Raila Odinga was alive, he could have run for the presidency. How did ODM get to a point that right now nobody wants to involve himself with ODM? Very simple. The moment they accepted William Ruto to be in the party, that is the moment that ODM lost focus. And then wakaanza kufukuza watu. So the more unafukuza watu, the more hao watu wanaenda na watu, kwa sababu look at somebody like, I want us to take a look at somebody like Edwin Sifuna. In fact, Edwin Sifuna will give us a good example, will always give us a good example, and will always play a very big role. The moment these people decided to chase Edwin Sifuna away, it's like Edwin Sifuna went with the people, with the wave of ODM. Saizi ODM haina impact. ODM is just a name. Nothing more, nothing less. ODM is just there because it's a name. Because it was a party, so ni jina tu. But ukijaribu kuangalia in real sense, there is nothing really, literally nothing serious about ODM party. So, you see, if you listen to OBURU right now, OBURU coming and telling us that Ruto anataka power. I was surprised listening to OBURU Odinga saying that Ruto anataka power, and the only thing that the best thing that they can do is that William Ruto is going to be the presidential candidate of ODM.
Ruto is giving power to the powerless. Village elders were just regarded as village elder. To village elder. Sasa he is not just a village elder. Yeye ana marupurupu kidogo, yeye pia anapata, utaona yeye anang'ara kukushinda. Atakuwa na power. Atakuwa na nini? Power. Basi sukumeni power, tuendelee. Kura ikikuja, wakati huu sisi ODM hatutakuwa na candidate wetu ni President William Ruto.
Let me ask this question. What makes somebody a presidential candidate of a party? Two things. Number one, that person must be a member of the party. And number two, that person must be party leader. Like William Ruto is a presidential candidate of UDA, number one, because he's a member of the UDA. Number two, he's the party leader. OBURU Odinga can be a presidential candidate of ODM because of two things. Number one, two things qualifies him. Number one, he is a member of ODM. And number two, OBURU Odinga is the party leader of ODM. Why is Kalonzo Musyoka best presidential candidate of Wiper? Number one, he is a member of Wiper. And number two, he is the party leader of Wiper. So that one gives him a mileage. Not unless maybe now he decides that, you know what, let me endorse somebody. Let me endorse somebody. And that person must be a member of that party. So you see now why people are asking a lot of questions about William Ruto here and there. Is because William Ruto is not a member. Yes, he was. He was once a member of the party, but right now he's not a member of the party. William Ruto played a very crucial role in the party, but right now he's not a member of the party. So OBURU Odinga should really wake up. And then, after saying that you're supporting William Ruto to become the presidential candidate of ODM, again you are trying to warn the same man that no political party, UDA, should not go to Homa Bay.
In English, so that it can, yes, wana ODM, we are in this broad-based government to stay. And we are negotiating. We came in through the window, but this time round we are going to come through the front door. And we are going to come through the front door strong, and we are not going to be beggars. We are going to have our fair share because of our numbers. And those numbers will be reflected in our votes. Those numbers will be reflected in our votes. So, right now, we are already in a stage where we have formed a team, a technical team, which is negotiating on policies of both UDA and ODM, and we are soon going to come out with a manifesto which we shall use to campaign for Kenyans in the future. You have also seen recently, President Ruto has come up with a blueprint of 2060. That 2060 was an idea of our late Raila Amolo Odinga. And the team which crafted it was formed by the late Raila Amolo Odinga. And therefore, we are 100% supporting it because it is our idea, it is our contribution to the coalition. It is our contribution to this coalition. And therefore, we want to continue. As we continue, we are going to make sure that in this, some people say we don't want zoning. If you don't want zoning, what do you want? We want zoning because this is our zone. It's Homa Bay, not our zone. We don't want UDA here in Homa Bay, isn't it? So we start with our areas where we have strongholds, where we have our governors, where we have our MPs, where we have our MCAs. Those are our zones automatically without negotiation. And we are saying that here in our area, we always take the leadership position. Why should you be shy? And we want to work with all strongholds of ODM, with Western, Northeastern, Turkana, and Coast, and Masaini. We want to work all of us together, and we are going to come together to form the next government as one. So, with those few...
It's like you are giving somebody food. After giving somebody food, huyo mtu amekula kashiba kabisa kabisa. Alafu huyo mtu anahisia kwenda kujisaidia, unamwambia asiingie kwa choo. Ati choo yenye kwako si ya watu wote, ni yako tu peke yako. Na wewe mwenyewe, you are the one that has really fed this person. Pengine umempea chakula ambayo inamharibikia tumbo. Alafu baadaye unamwambia kwamba usiingie kwa hiyo choo ni yangu, si yako. Seriously, that is something that is next to impossible. Mtu kama huyu atajisaidia hapo kwa kiti, na there is nothing you're going to do. So this issue of OBURU Odinga telling William Ruto that UDA should not be in Homa Bay, Nyanza, that is a dream that is something that cannot happen. It is something that can never happen, will never happen. That is the truth. Hawezi fanyika na haitawahi fanyika. Kwa sababu gani nasema haitafanyika? Haitafanyika kwa sababu ukijaribu kuangalia jinsi ambavyo mambo yalivyo sasa hivi. If you try to look at the way things are right now, ODM has really lost its touch. ODM imepoteza ile focus, ile touch yake imepoteza kabisa. And that is why unaona hizi vitu ambazo zinafanyika. Mara watu wanasema nini, mara sijui Winnie Odinga, mara Ruth Odinga, mara sijui Ida Odinga, mara sijui nani. So hata wao wenyewe hawajielewi. Unaona wale watu ambao like they are totally confused that they don't even know where to start and where to end. Watu kama kina Peter Kaluma, yani watu wako too much confused. They are very confused. They really don't know what is going on. They really don't know what they're supposed to do. They really don't know where to start and where to end. And that is always the beginning of failure of a party. Where is Jubilee right now? You are seeing what is going on, what is happening with Jubilee. PNU ilianza tu hivyo. All these parties zinaanzaga tu hivyo. And then baadaye zikishaanguka ndio watu wanaanza we never saw it coming. But kusema ukweli, ODM imebadilika ikawa a real village party. You see that village party that people used to talk about, that ODM is a village party right now. Right now ODM sasa imekuwa this is now the real village party. A village party kabisa. Anyway, that is just my opinion, that is my thought. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to tell me where you're watching this video from and how these videos are reaching you. Until we meet again, I have been your host, Boniface. Bingo.